Okay. Okay. All right. We have some joiners already. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, I don't have a power cut today again, like yesterday, for who was joining the session. Yeah, I had it in the last 15 minutes. So if this happened, Rocio, please take over.
Yeah, I have the questions open and everything. Don't worry. Yesterday, I had to jump.
Yes. So we're going to wait a couple more minutes for other people to join. I'm seeing that we have 50 people. I will start telling you that if you want, you can use the chat to just tell us where you are from, what are you doing, who you are, blogger, host, host. Yeah.
Can you make Sammy panelist? I don't have the ability. You're the host.
Sure. Okay. So where is Sammy? Yes, we have another colleague joining as well. Here we are. Cool. And what I was saying, you can use the chat, so everyone can use the chat in an informal way, just to chat with each other and say where you are from. And then you also have at the bottom a Q&A session where you can write your questions. And we will leave these questions at the end of the panel. Cool. So the first one is from Barcelona. Hi, I'm from Barcelona too, stuck at home. So my name is Federica. I'm the market manager for experiences in Spain and Portugal. And I'm here today to talk about Associate, in particular to talk with some of our best and most successful Airbnb associates that you can see already in camera, and they will be introduced in a second. And to help me leading this session, I also have with me Rocio and Sammy, that are two colleagues. Rocio, if you want to tell them about yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining to this amazing panel today. I'm Rocio. I've been working with Airbnb experiences for more than 3 years, and I work for experiences in Latin America. Very, very excited to be joining today to this call. Thank you again.
And Sammy over there.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sami, and I've been in Airbnb for over 10 years. I'm looking at the French territory. And today I will be helping you guys with any question you have on the chat. So feel free to use it, and we'll try our best to help you. Enjoy it.
Thanks, guys. So super quickly, I start sharing my screen, and then we go and we talk about our panelists, okay? So here we go. Does everybody can see my screen? Perfect. Okay, so we're going to talk about learning from successful associates. First of all, I know because I receive a lot of email that many of you still don't know what an associate is. So basically an associate and the associate program is a program that Airbnb launched in May 13, 2020 for homes, and in summer, so in July 20th, for experiences. And this is basically a way that we decide to implement to generate awareness and to drive demand to our website. It's basically a program that anybody that has a good network, so social media influencer, bloggers, host, experience or home host, and any power referrers to that has good network can use to promote Airbnb to their followers, their guests, and their community. And they will also earn a commission. So basically, they will earn money every time that somebody book an experience or a home through the links that they created. In a second, some of the associates will show you how they use this. And the commission that you earn is 5% on the total booking value of an experience, for example. That is equivalent to 25% of the 20% fees that we have for experiences. And for homes, it's 30% of the commissions that gets paid on home reservation. Why you should use Associate? Of course, to earn money. Now is a good time to earn money, so why not? And two, also to improve your customer experience. So if you are one of these lucky person that is still continue the business, this Associate program will give you the opportunity to complement your offer. So if you are a home host, in the email that you send to the guest, you can also talk about experience and have your own link. If you are a blogger and you are giving inspiration to people, you can also give direct direction towards Airbnb, for example. And then, of course, the broader goal is to build a community of travel enthusiasts like us who love Airbnb. So we don't want just reservation, but we want people to start really to understand what Airbnb is. And so we're going to talk about, I already said what is associate. We're going to welcome our associate, talk about some successful examples, some best practice and tips, and finally the question. So let's welcome our associate. You guys should be, let me just stop. Are you guys all in now? So we can start with Lee. Perfect. So Lee, we have here Lee, that is our associate experience host. You see him on camera, so if you don't see him, you should choose the grill, the square that show everybody that is there. So Lee is now waving, he's framing his face, he's showing his beautiful background. There was a dog before, maybe now it's gone. And so Lee is an associate experience host. So as you can see here, he has a few experiences. Now I show the online one. It's a great Singaporean experience host that offers 4 live experiences in Japan, and 2 in person and 2 online, and now is an Airbnb associate too. And in a second, we will let him introduce. Then we have also Ricardo. Ricardo is a community leader, experience host, brand owner, social media guru, and I don't know what else, everything. And he's also a super host, and is managing the community in Mexico, and he always show a lot of passion and has been sharing a lot of skills with other communities before. And he's also an Airbnb associate and an expert in coffee. And finally, we have Joe and Giovanni. They are also doing a lot of things, home experience hosts, bloggers, and they are from US and from Venezuela. I got it right, I think. And they are the 2 guys also there, smiling at you. They have also apartment and delicious food experiences. So I'm going to stop sharing and I will turn to them so they can tell us a little bit more about themselves. So Lee, tell us a little bit more about yourself. How did you join Airbnb? What are you doing right now? And whatever you want to share with us that can be shareable.
So thank you very much for the introduction, and I'm Lee, of course. So I'm Singaporean. I was born in Singapore, but I worked as a journalist for a company called Al Jazeera English. So I produced documentaries with them, and I moved to Japan 9 years ago. So I've been really I'm interested in Japanese history. I love the culture here, and of course the nature. I love hiking. So what I do is in real life, I actually lead a hiking tour. And a cycling tour, but right now with COVID, of course, everything has moved online. So I'm now an online experience host, hosting 3 different things. So actually one more has just popped up this week. So I'm going to share this with everyone in case you're interested. You should see 3 links pop up. And what I do is during the experience, we talk about different things about nature, of course, about the gods here. And during the experience, of course, I meet people who are interested in other things in Kyoto. I live in Kyoto now. This is Kyoto. They may be interested in a garden. And I have a friend here who is Andrew. He's a gardener. So I tell them about other experiences they can do, which means, of course, I tell them that, there's this associate link. If you click on it, I'll get some a bit of the commission from Airbnb. And people, of course, sign up because they know that if they like my experience, they will like his experience also. So that's one thing. For people who are experienced hosts, you could introduce other people in your city, things that other people might be interested in. Also, if you, for example, love hiking, you might also like gardening. So that's the connection there. But the other thing is that I also know friends who are of a similar character. On my experience, I'm quite interactive and we answer questions all the time. So another person that I tell everyone about is Keshaf. So if Federico, if not sure if you can pull up the example of how we can talk about how I send out a message, or if you do that later.
Yes, if you want, we can just finish the introduction and then we go to that later.
Oh, introduction. Okay, so yeah. Maybe we'll do the example of the how I send messages later. But basically, yeah, I am experienced host in Kyoto.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, Lee. Go. And now, Ricardo, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself on top of what I said, and share your link as well.
Yes, thank you very much. So I am a community leader of Airbnb in Mexico City, and I run basically around 28 experiences between online and offline. And one of those is the masterclass of coffee online. So it's the second most successful experience in the world. And basically now in the pandemic, that's my main job. Yeah, so very nice to meet you. I have a degree on marketing by Cornell and business management. So I think that's relevant for the webinar. So very nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Ricardo. Enjoy and Joe.
Yeah. Hi. Hola. Well, my name is Giovanni Hernandez. I'm originally from Venezuela and I'm a fashion designer. But we create this Airbnb experience in Colombia since 2 years ago, and it's been amazing. We miss it so much, but we are working for it to do a better online experience and also like share with people places, restaurants where you are able to go in the pandemic. So yeah.
Yep. And I'm Joey from the US originally. And I used to live in Panama for 7 years. And he actually used to live there too. So we met there and then moved to Colombia together. And we did some blogging in Panama, but then also when we moved to Colombia, decided to launch a blog here. And we've been able to use the Airbnb associate program recently to like have it produce more income. Because especially during the pandemic, everything just went from like active to zero. So it's been a great way to finally like produce income again from the blogging.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
let me ask you straight away, as you already mentioned this, as you are a blogger, have you ever done affiliate marketing before? And how did you get to know the Airbnb associate program?
Yeah, so I've done it for actually the last few years, and I've been waiting for Airbnb to launch this, like literally checking every year, because they used to do it for high traffic blogs. And we're kind of more micro bloggers. Like we produce very local content for tourists and locals, but we're not going to be in the millions of views a month like some other people. So, and it was just during the pandemic that I happened to check again and see that they had actually launched it. And I was like, oh my God, this is exciting because I love Airbnb. I love the experiences, the type of accommodation options. Before I was mostly using booking.com for affiliate links, but I 100% prefer Airbnb.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it was my only option at the time. So now I'm switching to full Airbnb.
Yeah.
Like,
and I get to know because a friend told me. She already knows what we did, and she was like, oh my God, you need to check this. And she has an Airbnb experience online. Yeah. So she was like, oh my God, please do an article, go for it. Like, go. So yeah. Now we're here.
Nice. So please, guys, also share the blog if you didn't do it.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna share it on the chat, and it's in Spanish and in English for everybody. So it's not a problem if you just study Spanish.
Great. Lee, same question for you. Have you done affiliation before, affiliate marketing with other companies or for other reason, or are you new to this? And when did you start, and why, and how?
Was completely new to this. So the thing is, in my thank you message to everyone, I normally introduce 2 or 3 links anyway. And when this came out, I thought, oh, great. So I just started adding affiliate links also.
Okay, so you just step up on what you would normally do. So you are a new influencer, let's say. And Ricardo, as you had also a lot of experiences and a business already, have you worked around affiliate marketing before? And same question, like, when did you join the associate program?
Okay, so since I have my own company and brand, I have never worked with someone else. I usually try to promote my own products. So this is the very first time I do that. And I started since the very beginning. It was how did I get to know about the program? Not because Federica and Rocio did an amazing job and I receive emails like every week or every 2 or 3 days, like join the program. Also my market manager told me. So I started like since the very beginning.
Okay. Yeah, we are a little bit like stalker with this program because we think that is a great opportunity. And I think personally that is pretty straightforward, but good that you are here with us today so you can tell us a bit more. Okay, so let's go back to, I swap a little bit the question because it makes sense maybe that we share already some examples as Lee was starting to talk about. So let's go with Lee. I'm going to share the screen so maybe we can follow through as well. You should be able to see everyone. And again, like put the view as Lee, to see Lee as well, okay? So the little square. So Lee, let me make it bigger. Now you can tell us a little bit more about example, like successful example on what are you doing with Associate and what are the most successful link or ways in which you're attracting bookings?
All right. So this is my associate page, which I created on the also like using this this page. I think you just go to the little icon and you can create this page by adding new things. But what I really want to show is on the next screen, which is where most people like who have been on my experience book other experiences. So I sent a long list of things you can do after my experience because people want maps of they're all online experiences. So people want maps of the real places that we have been to. They want books to read, videos to watch. So I sent them a few things to do. And I always end with this, more online experiences. So I say, lastly, if you'd like to attend another online experience, I recommend and a few things. So my co-host experience goes first. And then you see Andrew and Keshav that I mentioned just now. So during the tour, during the experience, I already mentioned Andrew and Keshav, especially if they are interested in other parts of Kyoto or if they want to know more about like other countries in an interesting way. So Keshav is a really great guy who I know from India, and he does bring up some stuff that's connected to my tour. So that's why I mentioned him. And you see these three things, and so far both Andrew and Keshav's tours have been really popular with my guests. So they go on to India or they go on to other parts of Kyoto. So that's what I do, and it's just this alone. So this has been quite popular with my previous guests.
Great. So for what Lee is saying, of course, this is more like a tip for who is an experienced and a home host. So you can use the post-booking message and the thank you message and make sure that, the experience that you're sharing are relevant. But also, like if you are not a host, you are a blogger or, you have a good network and you have a newsletter, for example, you can use something similar, right, to propose and message people. And you can share from the associate link, you can share everything in different social medias as well, and also WhatsApp, Messenger, anything. So I think it's very relevant, especially for who is new to this, like Lee, to start with something simple like this. Thank you very much, Lee, for sharing your example. And super successful. Lee is really, really doing great. We chose like the best of the best here. And then we have Ricardo. So Ricardo, if you want to tell us as well a little bit about, how you are using this associate and what are the most successful things.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So basically, I started trying everything. So I work with a friend and business partner, and actually she's in the coach. Her name is Gabi. So both of us together, we first started contacting a lot of influencers. So we made a list, contact them. Then I also put my links on my online experience, on the last message that people received. And finally, I put my link on my Instagram. And so far, the things that are working the best is totally my Instagram and the online experience. So those two are the most book and most page views. So those are working really, really well. I don't know if I should say now why I think they are working, or that's going to be like a further question.
Up to you. If you want, we can say already. We are making very conversational. So
okay. So basically, I think that these work because after my experience, people have like usually a really good time. So that gives me some authority. So that's why I think that I'm receiving so many bookings in my link after the experience. And it's exactly the same on Instagram. Most of the people that follow me is because they have taken one of my offline experiences or online. So the communities I try to build, I try them to be like real, like people that share the same values, like we all kind of know each other, or we have met, or we have some link offline. So I think that's why those two are working really, really well.
Cool. And just to understand, on your social network, you are sharing the link and your associate link that is directed to your experiences only, or you are also looking for, like for example, Lee was explaining that he looked for hosts that have similar experiences around the world.
Yes. So basically my experiences, but let me tell you something. I'm kind of crazy about doing tests. And I think that's one of the most powerful things from the associate program. One is the commission, of course, but also the fact that you can track what's going on. And by that, I mean how many people is clicking on the link, how many people is booking. So I have been trying to change which experiences I am recommending. If you go now, it's going to be only my experiences, but I'm trying to do many, many things and keep track of everything to see what works and what doesn't work. So it's basically, if you cannot track it, you cannot manage it.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing. We go back to this in a bit. And then we have Joy and Joe.
Hi, guys.
So kind of our strategy has been producing content. So doing a lot of maybe a top 10 type of list on unique accommodation options. So yeah, as you can see, on this homepage, we have a few articles we've done. So we've done one about cabins that are nearby, tree houses, places with swimming pools, glamping, things that are really I guess interesting right now, because we're in Bogota, it's a big city. So and people have been trapped in their tiny apartments. So it's been trying to find places that are nearby to the city that people can escape to.
Yeah.
And those have done really well.
Yeah, and also for locals, the priority now, it's locals and promote all these tourism that you are able to do all around Bogota. It's for example, it's thermal waters in an hour 0.5. So it's incredible. It's super easy to go. And that's what we are promoting now. Yeah.
And here you will use some links as well.
So basically, what we'll do is on an article, show the picture of the place or the experience, write a little description.
Yeah.
And then where you can see it says book now is the actual link, the Airbnb affiliate link. And we've had quite a bit of traffic. It was very slow to start because everything was very shut down here.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. It went, but now that things have opened back up, we're having purely local bookings. So we don't have really tourists coming quite yet, but I'm imagining once they start coming, it'll be even more. So
we are excited. Follow us. And we also promote everything from Instagram, Facebook, social media is very important. Ricardo said. Because, for example, when you post on Instagram story, your friends get to see it. They also want to buy the experience. They're gonna visit the places. People when they listen from other people, they actually want to do it. They're gonna do it. So yes, social media is very important too.
And just a follow-up question on this. As you are saying that a lot of domestic and local are booking experiences, are you selecting experiences that can be done both in English and Spanish, for example? Or are you doing lists for languages as well? Or you just use...
We haven't done as much promoting of experiences yet, just because people haven't really been able to do them here. So we've mostly just done one article about online experiences. That would be in both. The one we did was about online experiences in Colombia. So I think there were maybe 8 to 10 online experiences here. So I did an article about that. Everything else has been mostly promoting places to stay.
Yeah, because it's a little bit slow to promote now the experience in real life, because it's not everything is been changing. So we need to wait a little bit, and that's why we promote all the online experiences. So yes, and the places to stay. Yeah.
Makes completely sense. So I will stop sharing here. I just wanted to add that as the guys show you, even if you are an experienced host, you can talk about homes. And even if you have never been in those homes, you can think about particular places, like make lists, as the guys are saying, like a very interesting, I don't know, tree house or something that could be particularly attractive. And then, of course, if you have been somewhere in the world where you like to stay, or if you tried experience somewhere else, or you find, as Lee said, somebody that have similar experience, maybe you can also recommend them and not just, be stuck in your experience only. Okay, perfect. So let's go back to Lee. You told us a little bit like what is the most successful thing that you have been doing. And I would like to know a little bit about what are the main challenges for you for this program, for example, if you have any, and is it easy to use? Tell us, give us feedback.
The links are too long. So if I share a link, it's really, really long. So it occupies a lot of space, but that's the only challenge, I guess. Because for most people, if they're interested in going on to another experience, they'll click on it anyway. And this just happens to be a longer than usual link. So people are quite worried because it seems like a bit spammy, because long links with lots of AF equals to blah, blah, blah. I understand that that's how it works with affiliate links, but people are sometimes quite suspicious. But because they've been on the experience, they'll click on it. I think it's more of a concern if you have a blog or something, because then people see these very long links. But I guess because if you're hyperlinking it, people will not see the link anyway, so it doesn't really matter. For me, I wouldn't say it's a challenge, but the main thing is some of you might have asked, do you have to stay in home? Do you have to go for this experience before you go on it? And for me personally, what I do is I have to go to the experience. I have done the experiences myself. I would recommend it, and that's why I include it. And so if I look at the statistics for the conversion rate for the links, it's actually 100% for some of them. And for Cash House Tour, actually it was 500%. So somebody books like for other people just because they saw my link. Like open rate 100% and then booking rate 500%. So that's the power of having something that you really would recommend. And because online experiences, people have spent like 1 hour or 75 minutes with me, they feel that my recommendations are worth it. So I would say that if you know the person you're recommending, that would be a plus.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. And well done on the conversion. Amazing. You're really a super top associate. And what about you, Ricardo? First of all, like if you can add, following up to Lee, what was the most successful thing that you've done, as you have done a lot of testing and you suggest to do a lot of testing, and what are the main challenges for you as well?
So I think that the most successful is I have the link to my coffee experience or my coffee experiences on my Instagram. And whenever I do a post in which I mention that I have like a really successful, or I create a lot of excitement about that experience, people is immediately going to click on the link. So that has like brought a lot of people to my link. So let's say I do a story or a post in which I say more than 1,600 5-star reviews. And they go and they click to see where can I find that? Even people writes to me. So that's been working really, really well. The most challenging thing is, I think, with influencers, because most of the time we have this thing that I like to call the expecting magic mistake. So some of them, they think that if you post like something once, everybody's going to click and book. And that's actually not going to happen. It's very unlikely. So in marketing, we say that there is like a flow, like a marketing flow. So first some awareness of the brand or the idea, then some consideration, and then some conversion. So some of the influencers, they do like 1 post or 2 posts, like 3 weeks in between. So that has no impact. So it's difficult for us to tell them you need to be like consistent and to have a strategy and to have like an intention behind, because you have your followers, but you need to have some intention and strategy. So that has been one of the biggest challenges.
Okay. And what was, what was the bestseller experience? And I don't know if you want to share also your stats, but how is it going for you?
Yeah, the bestseller is my masterclass, and something like interesting happened. On my after the experience message, after the online experience message, I recommend some experiences. And I think this is very important. I recommend experiences that I think that have a high conversion rate, because I think that it's more likely that people is going to book. But then I decide to include an experience called Meet My Bees, which I took it and it's beautiful. I love it. It's one of the best I have taken. And that is doing like insanely good. So that's kind of interesting.
Nice. And sorry, I forgot to answer to Lee in regarding the links that are too long. It's true, and it's a feedback that a lot of people are giving. But they are like a free, program that you can use to shorten the link and to make like vanity URL. So maybe you guys can use them if you want to make it a little bit nicer. And for Joy and Joe, sorry, I call you Joe as Giovanni, if that's okay.
Yeah, no worries, okay.
And so can you tell us a little bit what was the most successful experience or homes that you shared, and also like what were the challenges for this program?
So definitely our most successful one has been our glamping article that we did. Yeah. So we did this article just about places to go glamping close to Bogota. And I'm a really good researcher. Like I will look through every single Airbnb listing, zooming in on different locations, cities, spending hours like researching photos, looking at the reviews to put these types of lists together. So I created that list, made a beautiful article about it, and then the way it became successful was through Facebook. So sharing it on Facebook and doing paid promotion. So just with like $10 promoting the article, it got like 300 shares, and thinking of your target market too. So like, I don't know, I guess our target market right now is people within Bogota, Colombia. So targeting people there, they loved that theme, shared it, tagged their friends in it. And I would say Facebook is probably one of the best if you're trying to get traffic back to your own website or to the links, because it links directly to like you can actually share a link. And Instagram, you have to say like, oh, click the link in the bio, do this. I don't know. If you're Instagram, we haven't had as much like traffic because of, I feel like that reason, but through Facebook, just the people being able to click the link and go to your site or blog post is insane. So, and I would say the challenge was just the waiting. We were like pretty shut down. So it was like we would write all these nice articles, they would have shares, but it wasn't until like September 1st that you were even allowed to leave the city. They had to have a checkpoint. So like even before then, the articles would do well, but like no bookings. And it was like September 1st hit, and then we started doing all the same stuff again, and people actually booked. It was just, we had this unique thing with the pandemic.
And also it's what Ricardo says. It's like a strategy. You need to think about like, okay, I'm going to write this, but I'm going to share it on Facebook. I'm going to share it on Instagram. I'm going to put it here, there. I'm going to share with all of my friends, even if they are not here. Like, hey, can you share this on Facebook? Even if you are in Mexico, Japan, whatever, people are going to get to see it, and also they're going to create the traffic on your website, even when they don't do the booking yet, So yes, this is a strategy.
True. And you can see, guys, here, like we have different examples, but evenly, like with something super simple, started already, to create his own list. And then you can make it like, you can go from your page to all the social media, and you can really start with your own network. If you're not a super famous blogger, you just go with your family and friends and you ask them to share. And then as Joy and Giovanni said, it's also very important to think about what is your target and what is good to promote at the moment. As they said, there was a point to promote Bogota when it was shut down with people from Bogota. But maybe meanwhile they could promote, homes, because people might book in advance, or online experiences. So really think about what you want to promote, if it's by category, if it's by for the target, the type of thing, or a very special list. And as you could see from the associate page, you can really create, your own list and use different things there. Okay, so I will just ask you the last question and maybe we open for Q&A. I just wanted to know, and I put two questions together. First, if you have any suggestion for who recently joined the program or things that you think that are extremely important, technically or also in general in terms of organization. And second, what are you planning to do next with this program? Lee, maybe you can start with this.
I'm going to continue sending more thank you messages, maybe shorten some of them. That's about it.
You worked very well, so why not?
Yeah. Well, I might add some to my Instagram page, so maybe that's the next step. Yeah.
And any final tips you want to share with the audience on how they should use this associate? Maybe they are scared of starting, they are not expert.
This is more for experienced hosts, I guess, because as an experienced host, you have a ready audience. People have already listened to you and they know who you are, so they'll trust you. Simply just share the link and make sure that what you're sharing is something that you know. So make sure that you like the experience that you're about to introduce, and people will start booking those experiences.
Okay, perfect, great. And what about Ricardo? So any final tips, and also if you want to share with us the next plan and the next thing that you want to test?
Yes, I am going to, as a next step, build a website just for this, because as I said at the beginning, I love to track things. So on my own website, I can put like the HTML embed or the links, and then I can track like more accurately what's people doing, what they click, which pictures they like, which calls to action they respond to. So I'm going to build my own website. That's going to be one. And my final suggestion is going to be like, think out of the box. Airbnb gave us this tool that we were all wanting. We were all pushing to have something like this. And as I said, one of the power is the money, but for me, the most important thing is the fact that you can track what people is doing, how many people is clicking and booking. So you have the tool, it's there. You can use it like on many different ways. Just think out of the box. You can create something like really disruptive. Just find many, many ways.
Thinking outside the box, I think it's something that we should apply on every aspect of our life right now, because they're very complicated. And so definitely already the fact that you've never been an associate in some cases, it's thinking outside the box, just joining the program. So I don't know if Sami, maybe you want to share the link in case somebody didn't join yet. And you can, try to put in practice all the things that the guys have been sharing. And what about you, Joy and Joe as well? Next plan and great tips.
Yeah, so I want to share a strategy we just started doing. So like after we do these maybe like top 10 type of articles, kind of like Ricardo said, the nice thing is being able to track the amount of bookings that go through it. So I can see like, oh, that property did really well, that one didn't. So we're kind of taking it to the next level and actually contacting the owners, because right now they're kind of getting like free promotion. And it's a win-win because we get a commission, they get bookings. But we're contacting the owners and actually staying at the properties. So and by doing that, we're able to produce content for them. So we're able to go to the property, take pictures, new pictures for them of it, pictures of us there using the property, and then do a dedicated article about it. So like we just did one that we finished two a few weeks ago, and one was about these like hot springs really close to Bogota. It's a house with its own private hot springs, and I thought that was super unique.
Amazing.
So it was incredible.
Send me the link. I'm gonna book it.
Yeah, I'll send the link. But like on their Airbnb pictures weren't that great, and I just saw the potential in them. So like, and we had it included in our swimming pool article. So she loved that she was featured in the article, and then I was like, hey, can we actually like stay at your property and like take pictures there, promote it? And we did this amazing article, and she's super happy. And now she's gotten a few bookings from it. So it's like, and we're able to see like, hey, you just got a few bookings yesterday from this. Like we're able to track that. So it's going from like doing a researched article to actually like staying in some of these places in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would say like suggestions. I guess think of your, do it. And think of your local market.
That's the only thing that you need to do it, like for real. Airbnb is an amazing platform. I learned all of my English since like a year and a half doing the tours in real life. So for me, it's just about doing it. You know, if I can do it and I learn a new language and I get to know so many people, and now we are building all of this website with the help of Airbnb, for sure anybody can do it, like anybody. Okay, so that's,
Thanks a lot for sharing.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for
Share
sharing.
the
And, like definitely partner up with somebody and make them understand the benefit of it is also a very important practice. And one thing I'm going to add it just because one of my hosts and associates told me today, you also like look at the trends in general, like trends and what are people looking online right now, you know, and try to write articles and things that could be interesting also in different aspects of traveling. Like maybe they're talking about safety right now because they're scared. So they will put there some experiences, you know, that show that they are in smaller group, maybe with photos with people with a mask. You know, you have also to think a little bit about what the people are looking for. Great. So thank you very, very much for sharing. Now I think we can jump to Q&A. I saw the chat getting crazy, but I believe it's just a conversation. And then we can go to the Q&A. I think Rocio was on fire also. She answered to a lot of questions.
Yeah, Fede, I can start if you want, and then feel free to jump here. I have some questions specific for some of the panelists also. So the first question I want to answer live is like, some of them asked for you guys, for the three panelists, to share the theme or content in like every page, Instagram, blog, etc. So if any of you have not shared yet on the chat the link to your blog, Joey and Giovanni, or Ricardo, your Instagram, please share it. I think that so far for this moment, everyone has shared a lot about their content and theme, but nonetheless, if anyone missed those links, okay? So for the second question is, again, they're like, they wanted to see like examples of how you're affiliating your links as associates and what kind of things were working. So I think we've talked enough about it, but I just wanted to say it again, like, please check their links, their pages, their blogs. Also, please share your online or live experience, or the one in person, also in the chat maybe. I think that could be very good so that they see how, when you're an experienced host, what kind of experiences or things you're doing. So Raul is asking, once you create your widget or your favorite page, what's the best way that you can save it in a link so that you can paste it on your experience profile for future references, right? So we talked with Lee about the thank you message, but any of you has right now on your description a link maybe that you can answer? Anyone has already copy and pasted on the experience description? No? Not really? Okay. So I would say for Raul that since all these links are coming from Airbnb URL, it's very easy to copy and paste in your description. It's allowed. So I would say maybe to shorten it first and then go and copy there. Or maybe just like try copying like the app version of your link or something, so that you can have it there. And in order to save every single link that you have created, inside your associate dashboard, you will always have every single link in case that you forgot where you copy and where you paste it for future reference, right? So I think the best way would be to add it like your, for instance, your favorite page as associate at the end of that experience, right? Let's see. This question was for Ricardo specifically. Ricardo, they're asking from the Instagram guests that they can book your experience only, or you can also book the same page that you're promoting as an associate in your Instagram.
If they can book my experience only or the same page, what do they mean by the same page?
They want to know if I go to your Instagram, you will be sharing just your experience or your entire page as an associate.
And now, today is my entire page. before that was only my experience. And it also depends on the post that I'm going to do. If I'm going to talk about my specific experience, then I change the link and I put one link that is only to my experience. If I'm going to talk about like all the cool master classes about cocktails that I do, then I put like the landing page with all the experiences. So I keep trying with different things. And it's going to depend on the post that I'm going to do on my stories. Like, for example, in my case, I have like a huge engagement on my stories. So that's like, I think one of the best tools to convert on Instagram is the stories. So depending on what I'm going to do on the stories, that's the link I'm going to put. Yeah.
Thank you, Ricardo. So meaning you can play with your Instagram and you can post anything, your own experience, your own house, or even your page completely as an associate. Thank you. This
And
one
your
is for
page, sorry, just to add on this, you can create your page with a lot of different experiences, Teresa.
Yes.
So you can really have everything in there and share that general link, or as Lee's saying, like create specific links.
Okay,
also,
perfect.
sorry, just to finish that.
Yes, go.
When you post a story, then you have the statistics and it's going to tell you that story, how many people click on the link. So if you track everything, it's going to work like really, really well.
Perfect, thank you. This one goes for Joey and Giovanni. Do you know how many locals have been booking your recommendations in your blogs? Like what percentage?
I would say probably 99%.
Yeah.
And the reason I would know this is because the airport just opened in Colombia a month ago, like September 21st. So literally a month ago. And it wasn't tourists even coming then. So it was mostly locals trapped outside, getting back those first couple weeks. I feel like we still don't even really have tourists coming yet. And I can also see like the traffic on our website has been maybe 90% in Colombia and maybe 10% from outside. Whereas before that was not the case. Before it was mostly people from the US looking at the website for researching their trips, but that whole segment is gone now. So we focused promoting it within Colombia. And what's helped too is having a bilingual website. So like he does the Spanish version and I do the English version. So like having the it in the local language has been super important as well.
Yeah, I think that's what's making the local traffic work. Because time before we just share it on English, and now with all of this about the pandemic, I'm writing more in Spanish. So yes, it's definitely way more people from here, from Colombia, who is doing the bookings.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. I think it's very important, this point, that we need to change what we're targeting when we're targeting locals versus when we're targeting, for instance, international travelers, right? Awesome. Maybe Joey and Giovanni, since you guys have been very successful sharing and promoting homes, what about answering quickly this question also? Do you promote places that you have not stayed in, and maybe how do you choose them? Like, do you look at the reviews? Are you in touch with these home hosts? Maybe this is a good question to be answered.
Yeah. So like a lot of it, the places we haven't actually stayed in, but they're very well researched. Yeah. Like I said before, I spend hours like literally looking through every single listing, looking at all the photos, seeing how their reviews are.
I mean, internet now can tell you a lot from a place, no? So like even doing a few calls, doing researching, like for looking on the location of the place, and you can see like what other people is posting about the place, about their own experience. You can get some information. So we stay in the most places that we can, because it's the best
we've
thing
stayed
to
in
do.
some of them, and if I really like it, I'll include it in the post. So
yes. So
and then now we're actually like I said before, we're also contacting them to stay in the places that we hadn't stayed in before, and that's been just really cool to actually go see it in person and
also help them.
And it helps
it's
them.
like for example, we love to take photographies, make videos, create content. So when the places are not that great for being on Airbnb, or the profile is not working at all, we help with that, taking all the pictures, telling them, I don't know, tiny details like, hey, have a glass of water when the people land and stuff. So yeah, It's mostly, we try to stay in every place, guys, pero it's a little bit,
Can't do it all.
it's lots of places.
Thank you both. Thank you. I think this is a good idea for experiences and homes. If you cannot try every single home and experience, maybe try to get in touch with that host. Otherwise, try to go through the reviews, try to read about other people. Also, you can recommend things that you feel are very unique to where you live, right? I think this is a good point. Let's quickly go to Alejandro's 2 questions. One is about, as a host, can I know who's promoting my place or my experience? No. So we are expanding this program. We're trying right now to get as many associates to this program as we can so that everyone can have recommendations. But you won't know if someone is recommending your place or unless you're in touch with that person. And maybe you're trading recommendations, right? So maybe I will recommend yours and you recommend mine. The second part of Alejandro's question is about if there is a page he can go where he can get some kind of list of associates or influencers, I bet he's asking. I think one of the ideas that Ricardo shared at the beginning is he was contacting many influencers via Instagram. He was if you go to Google, there is always a list of people in your local city that they are influencers. Maybe you can contact them and maybe you can propose them to join this program also and promote your experience. That could be some of the ideas. Let's go to Caroline. She's asking, or he's asking, I'm not sure, will it be possible to send associates links to potential guests who didn't book yet, but it might be in the future? At the moment, Airbnb raises the link. Yes, you can be in touch with guests, mainly if it's a guest that has reached out to you already via chat, maybe you can reply sharing some of these links. And since these links coming from the associate platform, they are from Airbnb, it should be fine in the chat as if you're already in touch with these guests, even if it is for a future booking, okay? Fede, do you want to answer this one, please, for me? How does the affiliate cookies last? The attribution window that we were talking yesterday in our webinars, maybe you can just remind again here.
Yeah, so the attribution window is 14 days for experiences and 28 days for a house. This means that if you create your link today, let's say, and you put on your website, and I go in the link, I'm interested in booking a home in Bogota, but then I don't book it in the same moment, but I come back to the same experience within 28 days, or even to another, home within 28 days, or even to another house, because I started my process from your link and I am in the 28 days window, you will be attributed. So this reservation will be attributed to you. And same for experiences. So I'm talking about the, sangria drag queen class today. Then somebody comes to my link. Within 14 days, they decide to book this sangria class or something else. I will be having the attribution for this reservation. One thing to keep in mind is that first, if somebody cancels the trip, you will not get the money. Second, you will get the money when the trip is completed, exactly also because of this reason. So when the trip, the experience, the home, so the people will basically check out or finish the experience, it will count as a pending payment to you. And we will send the payment normally on the 10th or the 20th of the next month. And finally, if a person come to your link and is redirected to Airbnb and they go on the website version, and then they move to a phone, that will not count. This is kind of a general practice for affiliation, so everybody's doing the same. So the attribution will work 14 and 28 days just if they stay on the same device. But as I said before, they can come back anytime. I hope it is clear.
Let's go to Haley's question now. Thank you for answering, Fede. Maybe this one could be answered from the panelists. She's asking if you guys have the rights, for instance, Joey and Giovanni, to use Airbnb photos in your blogs. How does that work? If you need to ask permission to that host or experience.
Let's see. Well, we haven't actually asked permission, but I feel like since they're receiving free promotion, we're not being like, oh, stay here and then it only benefits us. having a photo of their property that links directly to them. And usually like when they click the photo, it links to the Airbnb. There's usually a link within the actual description, and then usually a book now link. So it links back to their property.
Yeah, I mean, like we go to the places, we create all the content that we can and we like to share on Instagram stories or profile and everything. But also it's pretty helpful when they have super professional pictures, super clean, they already have it, you can share all of them. But I ask for permission. I do ask for permission. I'm like, hey, I can use that content and mix it with the one that we already create. I think that's, and if you're a blogger and you're there to create content, you should ask if you can use the content that is already made. For example, the pictures. That's my advice.
Thank you. Thank you for answering. So Alejandro was asking us as the next question about, he had the feeling that we were talking a lot about online experiences, but he was wondering, since he's a home host, if we can also have ideas on experiences on homes. And just to be honest, Alejandro, for instance, Joey and Giovanni, most of their blogs are about homes right now, and they're already planning, because that's what they told me before this workshop, they're planning now to go also and talk about experiences in person, since there are many countries that they are reopening back again. And I know Leah and Ricardo are right now hosting online, but for sure they will be promoting also in their countries experiences in person, and why not in the future even homes. So all these that we have been talking about are also applicable for homes and experiences in person. So thank you. Caroline was saying the question she asked before, she has the feeling that when she's chatting with someone on Airbnb chat, sometimes Airbnb links are erased. I think it's because sometimes if you already have a reservation with that person in a home, is easier than if you still have no transaction with them. But maybe sometimes it could be a bug. My recommendation in this case is to share directly your associate page without shortening or anything, so that Airbnb sees is an Airbnb link that you're using as an associate. That's my recommendation. And if it keeps being erased, then please flag it to support, because it could be probably a bug, okay? So Diana was asking about taxes, right? Something super important is there are some countries, and I said this yesterday in our workshop, some countries could be collecting taxes for our hosts right now. The case of associates, you are completely entirely responsible for managing your taxes with your accountable, okay? This means since you're not really doing the experience or the home host, we won't be collecting taxes. You're completely responsible for this side of making money as an associate. So thank you, Diana. I think this question is coming from Mexico. Nice. I think there's someone saying about, is it against Airbnb guidelines to share photos on Airbnb? I think because you're still playing with Airbnb platform as an associate, there is no guidelines really against you sharing and using these photos right now. I'm not sure who's the person asking this question, but I'm not sure if any of the panelists, if you have any point of view here. I think it's very important that the associate platform even allows you to create your page and add an Airbnb photo from this new associates platform. I think this is something that we could use even more. And if you are a blogger or an influencer, then do what Joey and Giovanni were saying. Since you're promoting this host, maybe try to get in touch before with them, since they own these photos. But there are no specific guidelines right now against using Airbnb's experiences, photos, or Airbnb homes photos, okay?
And just to add on this, like every photo that we have on Airbnb is basically owned by Airbnb. So if we create an associate page that is within Airbnb, you can use these photos there. Of course, if you are saying like using the photos outside it, that the guy's answer saying that, you know, you can ask directly depending on the type of photo. But as Joy said, you know, they can benefit of it. So definitely, if you want to be on the safe side and you are sharing photos outside the Airbnb associate page, ask for it. But generally speaking, I would say a lot of photos, and you probably see, are already uploaded in the associate page. So you don't need to create extra content out of it. I think we have one last question. How do I contact the home experience host using Airbnb messages? No spam issue if I send 4 or 5 messages. Yes, spam issues, Teresa, because we did it in the past, and was my mistake because I thought that I told the experience host to go and contact the home host, but actually it looked like a spam, right? Because you're going to contact everybody. So the best will be for experience host and home host, as we have separate community, leverage, and in this case, you are also community leader. So leverage the community leader that probably are also in this other page, and talk about this. And then, of course, start to talk with the host of the houses in which you already been, right? So you can tell them, you have already a thread with them, so you can still talk to them.
Fede, just to add quickly that we have Facebook groups for the communities or hosts or on Airbnb homes and also on Airbnb experiences. Also, Airbnb.com has a community where you can chat and you can actually post there to get in touch with other hosts. That's my main recommendation. There are many online events during these times, and once we're back to normal, we will be doing in-person events also. So these are all their ideas.
Perfect. Okay, unless anybody has something to add, I think in the
I think
chat,
we're on time. Yes.
Yeah, perfectly on time. 5 o'clock Barcelona. So thank you very much, guys, for being here with us. Lee, Ricardo, Joy, and Joe. It was amazing. I hope everybody here has been inspired by you, and I'm sure they have been. Unfortunately, I'm an employee, so I cannot be an associate. If not, straight away, I will just take all the tips and put them in practice. And thanks to Rocio for helping leading the session with Q&A, and Sami for managing the chat. And yeah, it was amazing. So please send our way your question if you have additional questions, and we will try to share maybe the recording of this session, as the guys agree with that, very soon. Okay, amazing. Rocio said, do you have something else to say?
That's it. Thank you, everyone, joining today, and thank you for the 3 amazing panelists that accepted our invitation. Looking forward to doing more of these kind of events in the future for everyone. Thank you.
Good luck to anybody. Bye.